So Hari Om and my salutations to one and all present here, and thank you for this opportunity to reflect upon Puja Gurudev. Om Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. Om Bharata Gauravaya Namaha. Om Ma Bharatyai Namaha. This is a very apt and most inspiring name of Puja Gurudev. Om Bharata Gauravaya Namaha. Salutations to the one who is the pride of Bharat. And salutations to the one who made Bharat proud. Both meanings are there of this beautiful name. All of us know that Puja Gurudev, from his young days itself, as a student, he was a very, very fiery and deep patriot. When the country was going through the struggle against the British rule, Puja Gurudev fought as a revolutionary freedom fighter to get the political freedom for our country. He was very deeply inspired by Subhash Chandra Bose ji, Bhagat Singh, and the revolutionaries. And he had joined the Hindustan Socialist Republic Army also. And he used to inspire people, distribute pamphlets, and he had even shot a British officer for which people were searching him and they wanted to capture him, etc. So he led a very active life as a student revolutionary. He was a leader amongst the students, the leader of the students union there in his college, and very deeply convinced by the ideals. Think about it, that when the whole country was going through that phase of non-violence and people were following the ideals of non-violence, there were a handful of people who were actually fighting using the revolutionary methods, because they were convinced that it is through this alone we would get the freedom. And Clement Attlee, the viceroy, later on also accepted that Bharat got freedom because of the revolutionaries and especially the INA created by Subhash Chandra Bose ji. So Puja Gurudev lived up to his convictions. He did not buckle under the pressure of the masses. As the youth, we must learn to understand this very, very clearly, that what are our convictions and are we able to live up to our convictions? Today, one of the greatest challenges that youngsters face is the peer pressure. Just because everybody is doing it, we follow, we also want to do. Just because it appears to be cool to smoke, to drink, to do drugs, we are also going and doing it. One should have the strength to stand up to one's conviction. Puja Gurudev had that. Now, he fought as a freedom fighter, and he knew that definitely the freedom would come soon. And when he was convinced of that, he shifted his gears. He said political freedom alone is not enough. He actually went to the Himalayas to expose the bluff of the sadhus, but he got transformed in that process. And he committed himself to the study of Vedanta, committed himself then to become a sannyasi, and then to share that knowledge with the masses to awaken Bharat and the Bharatiyas. So one aspect is political freedom, but he also taught us that we must come out of not only political slavery, but we must give up our cultural apathy. We are not aware of the glory of our culture, and we feel very low about ourselves. The national self-esteem at that point also was very low. Everything British is supposed to be great, everything foreign is supposed to be great, we are nobody. The morale was hit very badly. And not aware of our culture, Sanskrit was removed, English was introduced, scholarships were given for English study, and the entire image that was created was we are primitive, backward people. And Gurudev fought against that for next 42 years of his life. Because the core competency of any country is what that country is meant for. And the core competency of Bharat is the spiritual knowledge and is the deep cultural roots of our country. Even today, we are the world's oldest living civilization in the world. The Saraswati Sindhu civilization or the Vedic civilization is more than 10,000 years old and living civilization. It's not a dead civilization like the Greek or the Roman or the Mesopotamian, Egyptian, all of them, which are only in museums. So Gurudev wanted us to drop our cultural apathy and become proud of our culture. And if Bharat was the Vishwa Guru, Gurudev wanted to bring back Bharat to that status once again. Even economically, we were the leaders in the world. Till that industrialization happened, India and China used to control more than 35% each of the GDP of the world. It's only 200 years the scenario changed. And in the march of civilization, in millenniums which pass by, 200 years is not a big quantity, is not a huge number. So Gurudev wanted us to bounce back. And how will we bounce back? We will bounce back when we have inner strength. You know, a stone, if you throw down, it will stay on the ground. It may crack or it may break also. A glass is very brittle. If it is thrown down, it will definitely shatter. But the ball, a rubber ball, if you throw down, the harder you hit, the higher it will rise. That quality is what we must cultivate. We have been hit by invasions, by attacks, and continuously right now also many attacks happen from outside and inside. But the harder we are hit, the higher we must rise. That resilience we must have, and that resilience comes to us from the inner strength. And so Gurudev said that I must awaken the cultural pride in the Hindus. In the entire world, maximum population of Hindus is only in Bharat. And yet, as Bharatiyas, we are not proud of our culture, nor do we stand up for the culture, nor do we defend that culture. And we allow anybody to come trample upon us, disrespect our deities, blame us for our festival celebration, mock at us. So many things happen. Gurudev said all this we have to stop. Our culture is the most beautiful culture and adaptable, flexible culture. So he wanted to revive the pride of our culture in our hearts. That's why his motto has always been converting Hindus to Hinduism, to make the Hindus proud and practicing Hindus. So he dedicated his life for that. And how does a Hindu become proud of his culture? When one understands the spiritual depth, that is the knowledge of Vedanta. So he spent 42 years to ensure that the spiritual knowledge is brought to the common masses. You know, the Gita Jnana Yajnas, when he started talking in English, that is because he wanted to reach the masses, the intellectuals especially, as well as the common man. So from bottom to top and top to bottom, from both the sides, he wanted to address everyone. And it was in his talks that there was no barrier of caste, community, creed, gender, nationality. The knowledge was available to all. He started Sandipani Sadhanalayas to create more and more Swamis, Brahmacharis, who are missionaries, who would go into the society. And not only in English, he created in Malayalam, he created in Tamil, in Marathi, in Hindi, in Kannada, in different languages, so that people become aware of the glorious knowledge that we have, the beautiful culture that we have, and they feel proud to live up to that culture. And one of the most beautiful things he did was to start the activities for all age groups, right from Shishu Vihar, now we have, but from in his time it was Bal Vihar up to Vanaprastha, everyone, for every age group he brought this knowledge. So a mass awakening is what he wanted, and he did that for 42 years. That if today people are looking up to the Gita, they are wanting to study the Gita, they have an interest in it. One of the greatest causes for that is the tireless efforts of Puja Gurudev. When our Honorable Prime Minister Modi ji went to Japan, he gave to the Japanese Premier the Bhagavad Gita, and he said, there is no better gift that I can give, and there is nothing greater that he can receive. And Puja Gurudev was the Gita Acharya who lived the Gita way of life, who showed us how to live the Gita way of life. And if we live that, we will again come back to our status as Vishwaguru in spiritual knowledge as well as in material prosperity. He wanted the, he used to always say that, I'm going to read his one quote, his very beautiful quote, where he says that a geographical area where a population lives is called a country, and a geographical area where a people live is called a nation. What is the difference? A country is where population lives, where there is no goal, there is no harmony of thinking, people are not united, each one is selfish, thinking only about themselves. But a place where a people live is a nation, where they are bound, where Gurudev says very beautifully that to bring about a harmony, not just as a physical level, but harmony of thought, harmony of goal, harmony of inspiration, is to build a nation. And that was his vision, that he wanted each one of us to be a nationalist. You know, today when we say I am a nationalist, people mock, thinking that, oh, we are a fanatic a group of people who only thinks about our country. So many people want to say, no, I am not a nationalist, I am a cosmic citizen, I am a universal citizen. I don't limit myself to only the boundaries of a country. These are man-made boundaries. If I am patriotic, I am nationalistic, does not mean that I don't respect other countries. I love all the, I respect all the women who are there, but my mother is my mother and I will love her, and there will be a specific special love for her. Doesn't mean that I don't respect any other woman at all. Same way, this is my motherland. She has nurtured me, nourished me. I have a special love for this motherland. So Gurudev always said this, you know, that to forge and to evolve out of our population a healthy, vibrant, creative people is the work of the Chinmay Mission. Chinmay Mission members are essentially nationalists. We should never forget that. We are not here only to just study the scriptures, but based on the study of the scriptures, live the culture gloriously and be an active contributor to the nation. And look at Gurudev, what is his contribution to the country in all fields? You look at it. For education, how much he strived. We have more than 108 educational institutions today. In Seva activities, how many rural development projects he started, how many hospitals, orphanages, medical centers, diagnostic centers. Gurudev started temples, ashrams, courses, Dharma Seva course, correspondence course, Sandipani Sadhanalaya, Vedant course, camps. How many things he did in all fields: spiritual field, cultural field, education field, social service field. In the management, he used to go and address the corporate groups and inspire them with the knowledge of the Gita. He is the first person to take the Gita into the corporate world. So at all different levels, the knowledge that he received from his teachers inspired him to serve his country. Whatever we are studying today, our academic education, it may be professional education, professional qualification we may have, we should always remember this one fact: what am I doing for my country? Am I a contributor to my country, or am I a liability to my country? As young people, Gurudev had a lot of faith in the youngsters, and he always said the youth alone can. And in one address, I remember here in Mumbai, in Bandra, Gurudev said that the youth have two responsibilities: to wipe clean the mistakes of the past and to look ahead for the future. That is our responsibility. And in that he said also, if you want to only drink Coca-Cola and dance and do rock and roll, then country cannot do anything great. It is the responsibility of each of us to be a positive contributor to this nation. And hence Gurudev says here that a mission member is conscious of the glory of his country. We should ask ourselves, am I conscious of the glories of my country? How proud am I of my country? One is to have emotional aspect that I love my country, but do I know what is the glory of my country and my culture? What my ancestors have achieved, how glorious they were, how they did not compromise in any work that they took up, and they gave their best and set high standards, lived uncompromisingly with single pointed determination and focus. Look at the monuments that are created. Look at the depth of art, literature, dance, music, scientific discoveries. So many things our great ancestors have done is because they had this beauty of the culture, the spiritual knowledge, the vision. So I should become conscious of the glory of my country. In 2003, when we launched Awakening Indians to India, it was based on this vision of Pujya Gurudev. So Gurudev says a mission member is conscious of the glory of his country. He is a real devoted servant of the country. Am I a servant of my country? Or am I only sitting here and asking, what did the country do for me? This country, nothing is there. I'm going to go abroad and just settle down somewhere. There's nothing wrong in going abroad and even settling down. But what did I do for my country? I have a debt. Rashtra Rina we have. The debt of the country we have. So we have to contribute. Am I a servant? And especially in these times when the crisis is going on, in whichever way we can serve, we must serve. And if we can't go out in the field and serve as frontline warriors, we can do a lot. Online forums, spreads positivity, make people empowered. So many things we can do. And the least I can do is, if I can't spread positivity, let me shut my mouth and not spread negativity. Enough and more already the country is going through. We don't need more people to add negativity to it and bring down the morale. So am I a servant of my country? Bharat Mata. I must visualize that I am here to serve my mother. That's how Gurudev lived. That's how Samarth Ramdas ji lived. That's how Vivekanand ji lived. Swami Vidyaranya ji lived. All these great masters have lived like that. Sri Narayan Guru, he lived in that way. How many great masters this country has produced? Each of them is a Bharat Gaurav. And Gurudev is one of the most unique ones in each of in this whole galaxy. So he says here that the mission member is a real devoted servant of the country, work for the nation and regain the past glory of our nation. This should be very clear to us. We have to work for the nation and regain the past glory. We can't just be sleeping on the past laurels and achievements of our ancestors, but let it inspire us that what is the vision that we have. As young people, I will leave you here with one simple exercise you can do whenever you have some time. Think about it. What is the India of your dreams? We will soon be celebrating our 75th Independence Day next year and 100th Independence Day in 2047. What is the vision, India 2047? What is the vision that we want to have? That this is what my country should be in 2047. And as young people, what will you and I do to make that happen? With that vision, we must prepare ourselves from now. Then we are able to achieve, and that is what Gurudev would expect. He was a Bharat Gaurav, and he would want each of us to be a Bharat Gaurav. He would want each of us to make India proud and each of us to be recollected as someone who is the pride of India. Om Bharat Gauravaya Namaha. Thank you very much.
Hari Om. Thank you so much, Swamiji, for sharing such beautiful words about Gurudev. And just as he said, let us all become contributors of